NXT. Hold on. Let's try that again. NXT. This week's episode of NXT, ladies and gentlemen, wasn't too bad. It came out decent. It definitely delivered. We got Raquel Gonzalez retaining her NXT Women's Championship over Mercedes Martinez, as well as Karrion and Kross destroying Austin Theory and MSK retaining their NXT Tag Team titles over Breezago. Now, where does this lead MSK? I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. Plus, we got Kyle O'Reilly defeating Oney and Lorcan. I don't know what they're doing with Kyle O'Reilly. I have no idea yet. Question is, are they going to turn Bobby Fish heel? Are we going to get a O'Reilly and Fish feud? Could we be getting the O'Reilly and Bobby Fish feud? I don't know. I don't know, man. We could. And we got Pete Dunne defeating Ruff by the referee stoppage. I don't know why. And then we have Hit Row debuting on NXT, sending a warning to the NXT locker room. And then we got Kushida retaining his WWE NXT Cruiserweight Championship over Santos Escobar in what was one of the best matches on this show. And the only NXT news I got, folks, is on the possible split up of Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota. We're going to talk about that. We're going to go over that news. We're going to go over everything that went down on this week's episode of NXT right here on my IWN Wrestling News and Gaming YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my IWN Wrestling News and Gaming YouTube channel. I'm your host, your narrator, IWN's very own Brennan, and I am back here live for your May the 11th, 2021 NXT review, man. It's great to be live reviewing NXT again, man, on a Wednesday afternoon. Simply that missed NXT last night, including me, wants to know what went down. And keep in mind that I'm going to give you my analyst thoughts on all of the matches booked on last night's NXT. Welcome back to the channel, folks. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell for all notifications, man, so you won't miss my SmackDown review that'll be going live this Friday night, as well as my AEW Dynamite review that'll officially be going live tonight. So be sure you tune in for that, because that's going to be one hell of a review, man. Thunder Rosa will be in action. We got Darby Allin defending his TNT Championship against Rusev, known as Miru. Not Mira. Miru. Not Miru from Dragon Ball Z Universe 2. Miru on AEW. As well as the Young Bucks defending their AEW World Tag Team Championships against the SCU. If SCU loses, Frankie Kazarian and Christopher Daniels, will break up. Now, I don't know if that's a wise decision by AEW to break SCU up or not. I don't know. But we'll see how it goes down. And then we got segments booked for AEW Dynamite tonight. I got some news on that. We're going to go over that at the end of the review. Thank you for joining me, folks. Join me in the live chat. If there is not anybody in here, please get people to join the live chat, man. Very important. I would love to have some very important audience in the chat for my reviews every week. It really helps. And if you guys think you're going to enjoy this review, hit that freaking like button on the stream. Your like button helps out the channel. It really helps out the live streams and the videos, and it helps me. But if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell for all notifications so you won't miss my reviews and my game streams, and so you won't miss Jump Force. That'll be going live right after the NXT review. And I already have the thumbnail ready for it and everything. On Jump Force, I'm going to give you a sneak peek on what we're going to be doing on Jump Force. Live on Jump Force, I'm going to be redoing all the missions, trying to level up my created character and all my other characters on the game. And we are actually going to buy some more DLC characters that are on that game. So, be sure you tune in for Jump Force, and be sure you tune in for AEW Dynamite tonight for the AEW Dynamite review. And if you haven't followed me on Twitter yet, folks, please do so. Hit that follow button. Follow me on Twitter at Ingram Wrestling. I reached 200 followers 2 days ago. Please do so. Hit that follow button. Follow me on Twitter at Ingram Wrestling. I reached 200 followers 2 days ago. So, please, if you have a chance, congratulate me, man. It really is an honor, and it really feels good to reach 200 followers. It really does. Now, I currently have 212 followers, so let's quickly get that up to 300 followers. If we can get that up to 300 followers, man, I will be on the road to 400 followers. If we can get that up to 300 followers. Once we get there, that's when I'll be like, well, the road to 400 followers begins. But right now, the road to 300 followers on Twitter begins. And it's already starting out to a good start, man. And if you are new to the Twitch channel, man, over on Twitch, and you want to see more Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, more Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, and Dragon Ball Z Universe 2 content over there, man, all you got to do is hit that follow button. If you can't find my name, all you have to do is search Ingram Wrestling News, and it should pop up. I hope you all are enjoying this Wednesday cloudy afternoon, man. We're going to go ahead and get to the review. But I did check out the NXT results, and I did check out the clips on YouTube. The clips that WWE has of NXT from last night. Now, man, I sound really good today compared to the way I sound yesterday on my AW Dark watch along. Holy shit. I'm noticing that right offhand. This week's NXT opens with a video hyping tonight's matches, as well as a look back at last week's main event. We go live to the Capitol Wrestling Century, and Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory are already in the ring. We have Karrion Kross with Scarlett at ringside versus Austin Theory with Johnny Gargano at ringside. Now, I don't know what you all thought of this match, but my analyst thoughts will be given at the end of this match after I, deliver. So the match gets underway, and Theory punches Kross in the corner. Then he hits a knee and a drop kick. We got Kross shoving Theory back into the corner and hits a big boot. Kross throws Theory out of the way. Theory runs into Kross and bounces off. And then we got Karrion Kross taking him down with a big lariat. Kross hits a few big shots to the gut and a kick to the face, then laughs. Shout out to my #1 YouTube and Twitch moderator, Justin, for hyping up the live chat, even though there's nobody in it. I would like to have some more people in the live chat, please, guys. Now, Kross chokes Theory on the middle rope with a knee, and then we got Kross putting him in front of Gargano and taunting him. I don't think that was. I'm not gonna say it was a wise idea, but Kross was confident. He was confident that he had Theory beaten. He was confident that he was taking control of the match, and that's exactly what happened. I can't blame him for that. Theory kicks Kross, but gets grabbed and thrown with a back suplex. Gargano gets on the apron and distracts the referee so Theory can take the ice. Kross rolls outside angrily, and Theory goes after him. We got Kross swinging a few kicks, and Theory dodges them, then shoves him into the barricade, then hits a snapmare DDT on the floor. I can't understand why we had some podcasters complaining about NXT last night. I don't think it was bad at all. I mean, I can understand why podcasters complain about Monday Night Raw, because, Monday Night Raw is complete garbage every week. Nobody watches that show for a reason. But I can't understand why podcasters complain about NXT. I don't see nothing wrong with NXT. NXT's not really boring, nor AEW. Both NXT and AEW are the best wrestling promotions going right now. So people should be thankful that NXT is doing the best works of their careers. People should be thankful that Triple H and Shawn Michaels and Road Dogg are producing the best NXT shows that they've ever produced. Most importantly, people should be thankful that AEW are producing the best shows that they've ever produced as well. Well, we got all these AEW fans being a bunch of idiots talking about that freaking match between MJF, the Pinnacle, and Inner Circle, and how Jericho fell off the thing. We got all these AEW fans complaining about that, and I still see them complaining about it. Even though it's over, there are still some AEW idiots complaining. I'm talking about the fans, not the talent. The fans complaining about that. I don't even know why. Stop complaining and move on. It's over. The man on the podcast, JD from NY 206, explained how that fallout should have been with Jericho falling on the off the cage. He already explained that. Enough is enough, man. Leave it alone. Move on. It's a new week. I'm still seeing this. I'm still seeing these complaints from AEW fans on Twitter, man. It's unfreaking believable how these idiots can be. These idiot AEW fans, man. These AEW virtual geeks. That's what I like to call them, AEW virtual geeks, since they want to complain about a freaking blood and guts match that's clearly over. I mean, that was last week, was it not? Really? Might be right. I don't know. Might not be. But we got Theory pushing Kross into the ring. We got Theory pushing Kross to the ring post. Then back into the ring where he punches and stomps him on the mat. Theory goes to the apron and hits a rolling drop kick through them. Austin lifts Kross for a fallaway slam, but Karrion pops right back up and hits two Saito suplexes and a Doomsday forearm. Kross forearms Theory in the back of the head over and over in Gargano's face, then chokes him out. And that was it. So after the match, Kross is posing with the belt, with Finn Balor appearing behind him. Kross stares at him. Balor says he doesn't wait in lines. He wants his rematch. Kross says he wants it just as badly. Let's do it. I don't understand. What does Finn Balor need a rematch for? What is this NXT? I don't understand. So you're telling me you're going to book a match like this in, what, 2 weeks? Isn't this match being booked in 2 weeks? Or is this match going to be an NXT TakeOver Showdown? Or NXT TakeOver in your house? I don't understand what this rematch is about. I really don't think this match is going to deliver much. This match is going to see Kross dominating and retaining. That's how I feel about it. I don't even want to go into it. Anyways, here are my analyst thoughts on this match between Karrion Kross and now I'm monitoring the chat as well as my moderator as well. He's monitoring the chat, making sure people are respectful in the live chats. Because if you're not respectful, I'm gonna have my moderator delete your messages, or you're gonna get reported to YouTube. Now, this match was exactly what it needed to be. I don't know why some people were complaining about this on Twitter. I don't understand that. What's your complaining for? The match was exactly what it needed to be. Why you gotta go on Twitter and say the opposite? Now, folks, Theory is invaluable asset to NXT. He is. But, I hate to bring it up, but he is definitely nowhere near the level of Kross. Definitely not. He got squashed in a match that was effective but not pretty. Now, the champion was made to look truly unstoppable. And Balor, of course, I've said it the first time, might as well say it again. Balor wants his rematch, and the must-see contest is set to take place in 2 weeks. Oh, I was right. Look at that. Oh, man. Ingram Wrestling News back at it again. So I'm guessing Balor versus Kross is going to be in TakeOver in your house. I don't know. We don't know until we see the news on that. I think I'm going to have to check out WWE's YouTube, or should I say Twitter account, and see. So we got a commercial break. Leon Ruff walked into William Ringel's office earlier and begged to compete. So Ringel said he can't, in good conscience, let him after last week, and Ruff loses it and throws stuff off the desk So we got Ringo Stern with him, and Ruff leaves. So we got MSK versus Breezago. We got Wesley beginning with Breeze, and of course they lock up. We got Breeze getting the better of the lockup and poses on the ropes like Shawn Michaels. They go back and forth, and Lee drops him with a shoulder, then leaps over him and poses. We got Lee wanting a suplex, and Breeze counters it, but Lee lands on his feet, and they both go for super kicks and connects the feet, and then both men make tags. Carter and Fandango lock up and exchange holds. Dango hits an arm drag and dances. Then Carter whips him to the ropes and hits a dropkick and dances mockingly. Breeze tags in, and they try to double team Carter, but he knocks Dango from the ring, then dodges Breeze. The referee ducks and leapfrogs Breeze as well, and he gets fired up, and the action grinds to a halt. In a commercial break, Lee looks for a backflip kick to Dango, but misses, then gets sent tumbling into the turnbuckles. So we got Fandango hitting a Falcon Arrow for a 2 count and tags Breeze. Lee counters Breezango and makes the tag to Carter so they can land some double team kicks and the shooting star shove to Breeze. Dango tackles Lee into Carter and Breeze to break the pin attempt. All 4 men sit in the ring and punch each other, and the referee does nothing. I don't know why the referee did nothing. I don't get that there. He should have did something instead of doing nothing. Anyways, Lee and Dango eventually leave the ring, and Breeze drops Carter. Dango tags in and goes up top, but Carter hits him and climbs up with him. So then we got Carter and Dango both fall down, and Breezango regroup on the floor, but Carter hits a springboard moonsault to both. Carter gets Fandango back inside and tags Lee so they can double team him. Breeze tags in and looks for an unprettier something. Wasn't that something Chelsea Green used to use when she was on the NXT roster or the main roster or whatever? Or some sort? Sounds familiar. Sounds like something Chelsea Green used when she debuted at SmackDown. She debuted at NXT for SmackDown. Sounds very, very, very similar, man. But he looks for the unprettier to Lee. But Carter super kicks him, and they hit a spine buster, blockbuster for the win. And that was it. Alright. Listen, folks. I hope we don't have NXT fans and AEW fans complaining about this match either. For the simple fact that MSK and Breezango had a fairly predictable fight in which the veterans got to pull out some fun spots despite never having any real chance of victory. Yeah, thanks AEW and WWE. Now you got me saying the word fans twice. Thanks a lot. Yeah, sure thing. The contest never hit top gear since its story never moved beyond the showing off stage. Now, what mattered in the end was that MSK remained fighting champions and had plenty of fresh rivals for the future. Legado del Fantasma will be next, but it's likely Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher will get a shot soon as well. Now, with all that being said, Johnny Gargano barges into Ringo's office and complains about his apparent misfortunes. Didn't I just mention about how AEW fans were complaining about that blood and guts match between Pinnacle and Inner Circle? Jesus Christ. Never mind that. My goodness. Ringo says he doesn't hate Gargano. he values him as the North American champion. And how he had merchandise made for him. But he still has to face Branson Reed next week, and that scares the holy hell out of Johnny Gargano, the fact that he has to face him. Johnny snatches Ringo's pencil and snaps it. That didn't look too funny at all. I didn't laugh because it wasn't funny. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, nice try NXT for trying to make the NXT virtual geeks and everybody in the IWC community that watched it laugh. Yeah, nice try. It didn't make us fun. It wasn't entertaining. It was in fact boring. Johnny Gargano's not boring, but Ringo certainly was. The fact that he knew nothing. He did nothing but make the match official. That's all he did. But seriously, it was not funny to see Johnny Gargano snatching a pencil. How is that even funny? Some people say that was funny. I don't think it was. Huh, yeah. Whatever. We had a commercial break. Pete Dunne is in the ring, and he says Karrion Kross is ducking him. But that's no surprise because he's the baddest man in NXT, and Kross knows it. Yeah, sure thing, Pete Dunne. Sure. What about all those losses you took, huh? Yeah? Vince and Bruce has got to be the ones behind Pete Dunne's losses on NXT, man. I tell you, because Pete Dunne keeps losing and losing and losing. Continues to lose every week, man. I have not seen Pete Dunne win one match, except for his match with Kushida and his match with Leon Ruff, which we are getting ready to go over here in a minute. So, we got a commercial break. After the commercial break, Pete Dunne is in the ring, and he says Karrion Kross is ducking him. But that's no surprise, because he's the baddest man in NXT. And Kross knows it. Dunne extends an open challenge to the locker room to prove him wrong. Leon Ruff attacks Dunne from behind and drop kicks him out of the ring. A referee appears, and this is happening. It's happened because they made it official. Man, I tell you, man, Leon Ruff is looking like a legit good babyface out there. He tried to put up a fight to beat Dunne, but man, I hate to bring it up to you all. Spoiler alert, it wasn't enough to defeat Pete Dunne. So you know what the income of this match was. Let's go over it, folks. Side, and then Ruff attacking him. But Dunne takes him down. He takes him down and punches him. So then we got Ruff hitting a kick. Then runs at Dunne, but gets tossed to the apron. Ruff looks to springboard in. It's light under Dunne, but gets his arm grabbed and twisted. So we got Dunne bending the fingers, and Ruff screams. Dunne sits on Ruff, punches his face a few times, and continues to finger an annihilation. Ruff fights up and hits a springboard hurricanrana. Dunne cuts Ruff off with a clothesline, then kicks his back and goes to the fingers again. So we got Dunne bending Ruff's arm right back to the mat and stomps his chest. Dunne chops Ruff and slaps him. Then lifts him up, slaps him again. Ruff chops Dunne a few times. Then hits two enziguri and a front drop kick from the middle rope. Who agrees with me when I say that NXT seemingly last night started off to a good start while I was at work? I didn't see nothing wrong with the show, man. I see a whole bunch of people complaining from watching some of my Twitter followers NXT reviews, from watching some of the NXT reviews, people were complaining about how this match went, how that match went. I didn't see nothing wrong with these matches at all, man. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I don't care what anybody's got to say. Dunne chops Ruff and slaps him. And then lifts him up and slaps him again. Ruff chops Dunne a few times, then hits two enziguri and a front drop kick from the middle rope. Dunne hits an enziguri of his own and tries to throw Ruff out, but Leon bounces off the ropes and clotheslines him. Ruff attempts a springboard cutter, but Dunne punches him in midair, then applies a triangle choke and elbows Ruff until the referee stops it. So that was it. Via stoppage. Fuck the stoppage, man. This match was great. It wasn't bad. This wasn't a bad match between Leon Ruff and Pete Dunne. Fuck the referee stoppage. Leon Ruff wanted it, this match, and he got it. Dunne took full advantage of Ruff's injury. Now, it is clear that Ruff is losing control of himself, and he's going to get himself seriously hurt against top competitors. Meanwhile, Dunne remains truly dominant. But let's be honest, he has lost matches too, so we can't say he's too dominant. We can't say that. We can't say that yet until he wins a lot more matches. He may just be able to defeat the Prince in a rematch between the two men. But the plan has to be Kross versus Dunne for the future. I don't know. I don't know if that is the way to go about it or not. From looking at Karrion Kross, you can't help but blame people for complaining, claiming whether Kross is a face or a heel. It's confusing. Like NXT, tell us, man. Tell us something on Twitter. Is Kross a face or a heel? We as the IWC community need to know the answers. What are you guys doing with Kross? Is he a face or is he a heel? I don't think a heel versus heel dynamic is going to get it. And to be honest, a heel versus heel dynamic and babyface versus babyface dynamic, we all know both doesn't make sense. It don't make sense. You're booking Kross, so you're suggesting that Kross is going to turn face after his match with Finn Balor. What do you mean? Tell me when Kross defeats Pete Dunne, you're going to turn him back heel? I don't get this. This just doesn't make sense, man. I don't understand why would NXT go in the direction of having Kross versus Pete Dunne. I just don't think that is the way to go about it. I'm sorry. I just don't think. I just don't think this match is going to deliver, man. It just sounds so confusing to me, man. I don't understand it. But WWE has got to, there's got to be some sort of news onto whether Kross is a face or a heel. Is Kross a face or a heel, guys? I don't know, man. Because when he faces Finn Balor, it seems like he's a heel. But now, you got Pete Dunne being mentioned here in the title picture. What could this lead to? Kross versus Dunne versus Balor? I don't know, man. Something doesn't seem right about this. Something does not seem right about the way WWE is using Kross on television. Something doesn't seem right here. Somebody needs to tell me what the fuck's going on here. I don't understand this. What are they doing with Pete Dunne? And what's going on with Leon Ruff? What are they doing with Kross? Mainly, I want to know what they're doing with Kross, man. Tell me Kross is going to have to drop his NXT title to the Prince to where Kross can go to the main roster? Is that what's going on here? Oh, God. I don't think Kross wants to go up there, man. We've seen how terrible the Raw and SmackDown shows have been every week, man. Holy shit. You don't want to be calling Kross up to the main roster, and we don't want to see Kross get ruined. I wouldn't want to see Kross getting called to the main roster and get ruined. I wouldn't want to see that. I wouldn't want to see Kross and Scarlett get ruined on the main roster. That's not the way to go about it. If I was NXT, I would go with the decision of keeping Kross on NXT. Under that, man, I got nothing else to say about this. Whatever they're doing with Kross, they better do it. They better be doing it right, because it seems like they're not doing it. They're not doing anything right with Kross. It seems like they're not using Kross right on TV for some reason. I don't know why. It just seems weird. And when I thought about it, it just seems so confusing. I mean, why are they going with Finn Balor versus Kross? We already got that match, so why are we getting it again? I don't get that. Again, it doesn't make sense. This Kross and Balor feud is over. It's done and over with. Why are we sticking back to Kross and Balor for the NXT Championship again? You mean to tell me NXT can't come up with any other new ideas? You mean to tell me NXT is this whole time is starting to be like Monday Night Raw? I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on there. Anyways, I'm moving on, folks. I don't wanna be sticking to this dynamic any longer, dude. I don't want to talk about this. I really don't. It's gonna stress me the hell out. Legado del Fantasma, are backstage, and Escobar says the only reason why Kushida is champion because he let him. So by the end of last night, he would be once again the leader of leaders, two-time cruiserweight champion, but that didn't happen. He lost to Kushida. Hate to spoil y'all on that. We're gonna go over that match in the end. We got a commercial break. We got the big women's title match. Mercedes Martinez comes out first. And then we got Raquel Gonzalez, the NXT Women's Champion. So we got Raquel Gonzalez, NXT Women's Champion, seemingly with Dakota Kai at ringside, versus Mercedes Martinez. And speaking of Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai, I do have some news on a possible split-up happening with Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. We are going to go over that at the end of the review. I think you all need to hear this news because this is important for the Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez fans. Because I know the Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai fans are not going to be pleased to hear this. They are not going to be happy to hear this. I think Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez were good as a duo, man. I really hate to see them. I really hate to see the news from Ringside News on them possibly breaking up, man. But it's got to be given out, man. It's got to be put out. What my sources gives me and everybody else, the news has to be put out. The job has to be done. And this is no fake news, folks. This news is reality. This is real. The news on Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez possibly splitting up. I think what's going on here is NXT is starting to realize that Raquel Gonzalez doesn't need Dakota Kai anymore by her side now that she's champion. I think that's what NXT is thinking. I think that's their way of saying it. I don't know. That's just my opinion. That's just me. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. And this is not facts. It's not factual, but you guys know what I'm saying here. That's just my saying. Alright? I don't know what everybody else is saying about the split up. That's just my saying. I'm thinking NXT just no longer wants Dakota Kai with Raquel Gonzalez. That's the way I see it, man. But anyways, went on to this match here. So the match begins with a brawl, and Mercedes knocks Raquel out of the ring. Yes, folks, that's what happened. She got knocked out of the ring and jumps on her from the apron. And by the way, this was one of the two best matches on the show, because I really enjoyed this one too. Just because Raquel Gonzalez was in it. And just because it did deliver. Now, the match begins with a brawl. Mercedes knocks Raquel out of the ring, then jumps on her from the apron. Mercedes scares off Dakota Kai, then hits a funny knee to Gonzalez that sends her into the barricade. So then Martinez continues the assault and puts her back in the ring, where Raquel starts firing back. So then we got these commercial breaks. I really don't get it, dude. Why do you always got to give us these god-awful, boring commercial breaks, man? Please, limit the commercial breaks, man. That is one of the reasons why that's one of the reasons why the show's been suffering. All these goddamn commercial breaks, man. It's one of the reasons why they're losing audience. Audience are getting tired of seeing 5-6 commercial breaks a day, man. They're getting tired of seeing these commercial breaks every week on NXT, SmackDown, Raw. Cut the crap with the commercial breaks and show the full matches. Or you might as well just put out hashtag no commercial breaks. Oh, man. I'm sick of these commercial breaks, man. 1 or 2 is enough, but 5 and 6, that's too much. Come on, man. On a 2-hour episode of NXT every Tuesday nights? Come on, that's enough. People are getting tired of these commercial breaks. Just show the full matches, man. That's all we want. That's all we as a community want to see. We don't want to see 5-6 commercial breaks. Too much, man. Too many. So, back live from a boring commercial break. Got me saying commercial twice now. Back live, and Gonzalez has taken control of the match. Raquel beats her against the ropes, but Mercedes fires back with some right hands and chops. Martinez looks for an Irish whip, but gets countered and caught with a clothesline. So Martinez basically whips her to the corner and hits a splash, followed by a power slam for a 2 count. It was a big old power slam by Mercedes there. She definitely had a great showing last night, from what I've been hearing from my sources and from my Twitter followers. Mercedes fights out of a rear chin lock and hits a sloppy double leg takedown for some punches. Raquel knocks Martinez out the ring, but she quickly comes back in and jumps on the champion's back with a sleeper. Raquel drops down for a jawbreaker to get Mercedes off. And I would really like to see what this match would look like on 2K. So then attempts a big boot in the corner, but misses and gets hung up for some reason. Martinez grabs Raquel and hits a hanging, swinging neckbreaker for a near fall. We got both women end up on the apron, and Martinez hits a running spear, and they tumble to the floor. I can see why people are complaining. Let's go back to Kross and Finn Balor a little bit. I can see why people were complaining about the rematch with Kross and Finn Balor. I could definitely see that. And I could definitely see why people were complaining, because there were a few missteps on the show. Other than that, it was decent. It was decent so far. But back inside the ring, Martinez forearms Gonzalez a few times. Then runs at her, but gets caught with an alley-oop. With an alley-oop onto the top rope. Martinez rolls outside, and Raquel goes out to slam her into the barricade. Raquel lifts Martinez onto her shoulder and lawn darts her into the ring post for a near fall. Martinez hits Raquel, then runs at her, but seems to forget what she wanted to do. So then Raquel Gonzalez hits a backbreaker for a near fall. But Mercedes rolls down the back and rolls her up and follows up with a big knee. Martinez slams Gonzalez for a 2 count, then grabs her arms and knees her in the face a few times. Gonzalez dodges a final knee and connects with a big boot, then lifts her for the choke bomb and the win. So that's what they call Raquel Gonzalez's move, the choke bomb. I see. Very good name for her move there. Very good name for Raquel Gonzalez's finishing move. So Raquel Gonzalez gets the win over Mercedes Martinez to retain her NXT Women's Championship. My thoughts on this, folks, get ready. Once more, honestly, Gonzalez showed how good she is while also proving she's got to work to do to get to the highest level. Now, she brought everything to this performance, though she overpushed a few spots that Martinez could not quite save. Now, still though, the women had a good title clash that made the most of the TV spotlight, but they are unlikely to be built for a long-term feud. The talent was enough to sell a decent match, but they don't have great chemistry. They just don't have great chemistry. I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but it's true. Now, we got Swerve shown arriving at the arena in an SUV flanked by his entourage. Swerve shoves the cameraman down on his way inside. This is where Hit Row made their debut. This Hit Row name reminds me of Death Row, and you know who owned the name Death Row Records, Suge Knight. So that's what that group name surely reminds me of, Death Row Records. Commercial break, lots of commotion backstage. Gargano, in theory, are being escorted out of the building. Now, the camera goes into the locker room where Bronson Reed is laid out. Officials help Reed to his feet, and he says, "Johnny is a dead man. Uh-oh. That ain't good. Johnny better get somewhere and hide. He better hope he went somewhere to hide." Bronson Reed is a fast man. He'd probably find him quicker in time. Bronson Reed is not like Braun Strowman. Don't even compare that guy to Braun Strowman. I don't want to hear that shit, because if I hear that, I'm going to get pissed off. Bronson Reed is way better than Braun Strowman, let's be honest. I mean, Braun Strowman's nothing compared to Reed. So we got Isaiah Swerve Scott on the stage. He says it's about to get real spooky here in NXT. Swerve's entourage, now known as Hit Row, come to the ring. Swerve sits in the ring and says he's the first to admit he made some mistakes since coming to NXT. The biggest mistake he made was pretending to be something he isn't. He's savage, disrespectful, and a dangerous man, so it only seemed right that he recruits some people who think the same way. Top Dollar is one of the recruits, and he used to play in NFL, and he always makes top dollar. He does some rapping, then introduces the other guy, Ashanti Adonis, and the girl, B-Fabe. B-Fibe? I really don't understand why they gave her the name Phoebe. B5. I don't get that. I don't understand why they gave her that name. I know Isaiah Swerve Scott didn't give her that name. I know NXT management and creative probably gave her that name, more than likely. Or Bruce and Vince. Because, Vince is still heavily involved with NXT. So, I imagine he is the one that gave her that name. Now, they talk about how great they are. And that, they're gonna be a big problem. Together they produce hits in their hit row. Now you know. Now, I really love this. I really love this, man. It was really great. I just don't understand why WWE gave what's her name? Brandy? What's her name? Brandy, right? From the NXT Performance Center. WWE Performance Center. I forgot her name. I just don't. I think it's Brandy. I just don't understand why they gave Brandy her name. I don't know. I don't understand why they gave her the name B-Fabe. I don't get it. Is it B-Fabe or B5? Pretty sure it's B5 for sure. I don't understand why they gave her that name. I didn't understand. I'm pretty sure Brandy is probably wondering why NXT gave her that name. She's probably wondering why as well. I sure hope she is. I mean, I don't understand this. B-Fabe? B5? I don't get it. I don't get it, man. I don't understand this name. Why did they give it to her? But other than that, man, the Hit Row made an impressive statement. Each member of the stable was clearly established in this promo. Swerve is the leader. B-Fabe, known as Brandy, is the mastermind. Top Dollar. Top Dollar is a good name for that big man. Is the muscle. And Adonis. And they're still going with Adonis. Thought he was going to give him a different name. They're still going with Adonis. So Shanti Adonis is Loudmouth Enforcer. So, in my opinion, folks, JD and everybody else in the community may agree with me with this when I say this. Honestly, folks, this group may actually have a real chance to succeed in a post-Undisputed Era NXT. Now, when I look at it this way, I'm thinking, the Way is the only stable that can match up here. Now, it is possible the new faction will take out Gargano and maybe Candice LeRae on the road to the top. Swerve could become world champion with this group. He could. How many of you all in the chat agree with me, man? Comment a hands up if you all agree with me. Comment a hands up emoji. Now, we see Cameron Grimes in an auction bidding on a house. He goes back and forth bidding with others and settles on $8 million, but at the last second, Ted DiBiase appears and bids minus $20 million. Grimes loses it and tells DiBiase they can go right now. DiBiase says it's simple. There's only $1 million man, and it isn't Cameron Grimes. It's Ted DiBiase. We all know that, obviously. Duh. So we got Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly versus Oney Lorcan with Pete Dunne at ringside. Now, comment in the chat or in the session below what you guys thought of this match between Kyle O'Reilly and Oney Lorcan. I would love you all to give me your opinions on this match. I would love to hear your opinions on this match. Of course, you're gonna get to hear my opinion and my analyst thoughts on this match. Now, the match begins with O'Reilly backing Lorcan against the ropes before letting go. So then they lock up again, and this time Lorcan pushes Kyle back to the ropes. Lorcan takes O'Reilly down with a head scissors, but Kyle escapes and applies a crossface. Justin, you there? Is everybody in the chat? It's quiet. The chat's quiet. I don't like when the chat's quiet, man. Lorcan fights up and backs him into the corner, where they take turns to turn each other around and trade shots. O'Reilly hits the ropes and Lorcan cuts him off with a back elbow. O'Reilly is sent shoulder first into the buckles. Then Lorcan falls up with a forearm to the back. Kyle spills to the apron and manages to apply an armbar to Lorcan over the ropes. O'Reilly lets go when Pete Dunne walks up. While O'Reilly is in Dunne's face, Lorcan attacks him from behind. We got a commercial break. They return to find Lorcan beating O'Reilly and talking trash to him. Lorcan hits a big chop to the chest, and O'Reilly fires back with forearm. Oney catches a kick and elbows Kyle's leg, then backs him into the corner. O'Reilly cuts him off, delivers some kicks, followed by a sweep. O'Reilly hits a running forearm in the corner, then a back suplex into a knee bar. Lorcan gets the ropes to force the break. O'Reilly kicks Lorcan a few times and goes for a guillotine. But Lorcan fights him off. O'Reilly hits a brainbuster and goes up top for the flying. Now, these two have much better in them. I would say this is a pretty decent physical match, but it could happen more with greater stakes and drama. Instead, this was just about giving O'Reilly another win. And the arrival of Fish was a much bigger talking point. He is just as talented as any other member of Undisputed Era, but he has not truly ventured out on his own yet. He's a fresh act, though could easily go his own way beyond occasionally helping his friend. Now, I originally thought we were going to see a Kyle O'Reilly and a Bobby Fish feud, but I'm guessing that's the opposite now that I just gave y'all my thoughts on this. Now, as soon as the match ends, Pete Dunne rushes in and beats O'Reilly. Lorcan joins in and they stomp O'Reilly down until Bobby Fish makes his return and saves O'Reilly. Fish and O'Reilly beat them away. Then O'Reilly says it's good to see him, but he's doing his own thing now. Fish said he knows that. He's got a score to settle with Dunne and Lorcan. They give each other a nod and part ways. Bronson Reed is furious backstage and he cuts a promo about Johnny Gargano. He says Johnny screwed up attacking him earlier because he talked to William Regal, and now their title match next week will take place inside a steel cage. Now we got the main event. We got Kushida defending his Cruiserweight Championship against Santos Escobar with Legado del Fantasma at ringside. Two of the two best matches on the show. Now, Kushida and Santos Escobar, in my opinion, and I think I've said it earlier in the review. I don't know if I did or not. I might have. Might have to go back and listen to see after the review goes. After the review ends, I may have to go listen to see if I actually mentioned what I said earlier in the review about this match. Kushida versus Santos Escobar, in my opinion, was one of the best matches, if not one of the best matches on the show. It was. So the bell rings, and Santos storms Kushida, and then Escobar beats Kushida and tosses him out of the ring, where Wilde and Mendoza look to get involved by MSK, come flying over the barricade and wipe them out. MSK beat them to the ramp until officials came and take them all to the back. Escobar argues with the officials until Kushida comes off the top rope with a senton onto him. So then we got another commercial break. Another commercial break, folks. Man, I'm getting sick of these commercial breaks, dude. I'm getting sick of even saying it on this review. I may just stop saying commercial breaks, period. That's how fucking boring it's done got. Hearing that NXT is gonna go on commercial break. Man, I get tired of hearing that every single week, man. I even get tired. I'm even getting tired of saying it at this point, man. So they were back live, and Escobar has a modified single leg Boston Crab on Kushida. Escobar puts Kushida on the top rope and puts him on his shoulders. Then jumps off, and the champion lands on the ropes, and Kushida rolls to the apron near the steps, and Escobar applies a Boston Crab on the steps. They get back inside, and Escobar hits a drop toe hold, then a surfboard stretch. Escobar transitions into a Camille clutch. Kushida fights up, but Escobar backs him into the corner and kicks him a few times, then wraps him up around the ropes. So then we got Escobar hitting a running knee to the chest. Santos climbs the rope above Kushida and lands a flurry of right hands. I almost lost my thought for a minute. Thought I heard something. Then lifts him up alongside him and hits a Hurricane Rana. But Kushida rolls through for a near fall. Kushida rallies and hits an arm drag and a drop kick. Escobar then counters Kushida and hits the Phantom Driver to score the first fall. Now, how did you guys feel about Kushida scoring the first fall, man? How did you feel? Did you feel like Santos Escobar should have scored the first fall, or Kushida? Anyways, the referee separates them before ringing the bell. Escobar runs at Kushida for the double knees in the corner, but Kushida avoids it. Kushida takes Escobar down and applies an armbar. Escobar fights it for a moment, but then Kushida locks it in and Escobar taps. So Kushida gets pinfall number 2. I'm feeling a little dizzy, guys. I think after my NXT review, I'm gonna have to eat. I'm darn dizzy as fuck right now. And we got to a final commercial break of last night's NXT. Back from the final break, and they're fighting on the outside. Kushida wants the hoverboard lock, and Santos runs him into the barricade. Escobar gets back in the ring, and Kushida gets on the apron and grabs his arm, but Kushida snaps the champion's arm on the top rope. Kushida falls to the floor, and Escobar hits a suicide dive, then gets him back inside for a near fall. Escobar wants the Phantom Driver, but Kushida fights in, then hits a tilt-a-whirl SOS. Kushida goes to the top rope and hits a flying knee. He hits a flying knee to Santos' arm, then hits a PK kick to the arm. Escobar rolls outside, and Kushida looks for a baseball slide. But Escobar ducks it. Kushida grabs his arm and dives onto it on the ground. So then back inside, Kushida wants the PK kick again, but Escobar avoids it. And then Kushida rolls him up for a 2 count. And then jumps onto Escobar with the hoverboard lock. Escobar rolls him up for a near fall, then hits a step-up kick. They trade pinfall attempts before hitting stereo clotheslines, and both men are down. Kushida goes to the top rope, but Escobar jumps up and hits a kick. Escobar gets Kushida on the shoulders, but the champion elbows him and spins around to apply the hoverboard lock. Kushida flips off the ropes to slam Escobar and still has the hoverboard locked in. Escobar tries to roll to the ropes, but Kushida rolls him back. Escobar manages to crawl to the ropes. Kushida goes right back to the lock on the feet, and Santos fights it again. So Kushida hits a suplex into the buckles. Kushida reapplies the hoverboard lock and hits a fisherman suplex with the lock applied and scores the pinfall. Now, I have no idea what's next for both of them. Another Cruiserweight Championship match could be booked for NXT TakeOver in Your House. Maybe that's next. I don't know. But if there's going to be another Cruiserweight Championship match between the two, a stipulation, I think, should be added to this match. Maybe a ladder match should be added to Kushida's Cruiserweight Championship match if Santos Escobar gets another Cruiserweight Championship match. Or maybe Kushida's Cruiserweight Championship match should be against none other than Jordan Devlin. Jordan Devlin versus Kushida for the Cruiserweight Championship in a ladder match at NXT TakeOver in Your House. Sounds like a great idea. What do you guys think? Or maybe just Kushida versus Jordan Devlin, a one-on-one match for the Cruiserweight Championship at TakeOver in Your House. You guys like the sound of that? So after Kushida's Cruiserweight Championship, that was it for the show. Now, my thoughts on this, folks, my thoughts on this Cruiserweight Championship Falls Count match, or 2 out of 3 Falls Count Cruiserweight Championship match. My thoughts on this: I brought it all to the contest. Only the stipulation held this back, as the 2 did not need 3 falls to go 20 minutes. The final fall was the result of incredible work from both men, who were at top gear throughout It was an intense contest and one of the best matches we have seen for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. Kushida has proved he is one of the best. He and Escobar can help redefine the division for months to come. Japanese star can also elevate many more. So yeah, folks, we're gonna go ahead and go over the news before I leave, before I end this NXT review here. First, let's go. The only news I have right now is the split up between Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. So let's go over the news on that. Now, Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, as you all know, have been working together for quite a long time, which also resulted in Gonzalez winning the NXT Women's Championship. Now, while the two seem inseparable, it seems WWE might have other plans for them. Now, on this week's episode of NXT, Gonzalez did defend her NXT Women's Championship against Mercedes Martinez. She was successfully able to retain the title despite Martinez's best efforts. Now, after the match concluded, Martinez could be seen getting checked backstage. Gonzalez then came out and approached Martinez and said respect. Dakota Kai saw this and was very shocked at what she said. Kai was so upset that she stormed out of the backstage area as Martinez looked on. WWE on Twitter also added to the eventual split by commenting on the backstage segment. This is what WWE said here on Twitter. They said mutual respect between Raquel Gonzalez and Mercedes Martinez, but why that reaction from Dakota Kai? Now, Kai and Gonzalez have been paired together since NXT TakeOver Portland in February 2020, where Gonzalez made her NXT debut and helped Kai beat Tegan Nox in a street fight. So I'm guessing we'll have to see if WWE will truly split up Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. That's all the NXT news I have, folks. That is going to do it for your NXT review. If you enjoyed this NXT review, hit the thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. I'm getting out of here, folks. I will be streaming Jump Force after this, so join me in the live chat for Jump Force because I'm going to be redoing all the missions, leveling up my created character. I'm going to be leveling up my created character and many more characters on the game. And I am going to be buying more characters from the DLC in the PlayStation Store. Well, folks, I'm getting out of here, folks. You have yourselves a good rest of y'all's Wednesday. I mean, if you think you're not gonna have a good Wednesday, just come and join the live chat and chat with me. I'd love to chat with some of my Twitter followers and YouTube subscribers. I mean, that's what the live chat's for. But I'm getting out of here, folks. See you on Jump Force, and I will see you all on the AEW Dynamite review tonight, live on YouTube. See you then.